Welcome back to the continuation of this monumental incident. Now guys, look, if you thought part 1 was crazy, let me tell you something. Part 2 is just a completely different level. And I want to start this video by saying that I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute dumbass of the highest degree, okay? And let me tell you why. You see, this entire incident was very trending on Twitter. I mean, as you can see here, like, this was everywhere. And me personally, the only comparison I have to the degree of how much I was seeing this on my feed was what was happening with Selen when she was terminated from Nijisanji. But unlike the incident with Selen, even though it was huge on Twitter and everyone in the VTubing space knew about it, it didn't really reach the levels of mainstream coverage. You know, for example, Charlie made a video about the Selen termination, right? That's kind of how you know that an issue has gone mainstream. This didn't happen with the Kenji doxx, which was part 1 of this. And this didn't happen with the very nasty conflict between Kenji and Sayu that we're going to talk about in this video. In fact, this wasn't just about the mainstream. I want to make something very clear here. No one made a video on this conflict. The only people who actually did were smaller up-and-coming YouTubers. But everyone who spoke about Nijisanji, about Selen, who usually talks about VTuber stuff, did not make a video on this. Look, this is it. And there's a lot of unrelated videos here. That's it. That's what happens when you type Kenji doxx. No one talked about this. And when it comes to someone like Charlie, I understand, dude. It's a very confusing thing. Dude. I needed hours to understand what was going on to make part 1. But when it comes to people who usually talk about VTubing and what goes on in the community, they were very well aware of what was going on and still chose to not make a video about it. Why? Part 1 had a clear villain and it wasn't a risk to talk about, but here it's different. It is nasty, it is ugly, and both sides have their problems. With two communities being head to head, and here's the thing, when you talk about this, you have multiple options. Either side with Kenji, side with Sayu, or be objective. Whether you do any of these three, people will not like how you talk about the incident if it doesn't match what they believe. But regardless, I will do my best today to talk about it objectively. This might literally be the hardest video I've ever done because of the complexity. So yeah, it would be cool if you can like the video to counter all the dislikes that will no doubt show up. And yeah, let's look at this mess together. Hey, this video was meant to be sponsored, but it got delayed by a week. So I'm just gonna advertise my Twitch stream. I'm live every day except for Monday and Tuesday. Also, if you want to get yourself a Jinrex plushie, make sure to click the link in the description or the pinned comment. Anyway, back to the video. So as you saw in part 1, a big VTuber by the name of Kenji got doxxed. Not only did the doxxer get exposed, but also a bunch of reputable VTubers were in a hate group chat with that doxxer targeting Kenji. It was a massive nuclear level catastrophe of a controversy, and a few careers were ended, including an entire friend group being dissolved. But then, as we thought that it was finally over, Sayu comes out, and listen, let's just be clear here. This Sayu, not this Sayu. Many people in the comments were like, dude, heart attack, what? I thought it was... No. This Sayu came out and tweeted this. I'll be honest, from having been dox attacked myself, no one deserves to be doxxed, but those people also have to understand that when they spread hate in other ways, this is how it feels. Karma does come around. I hope they learn that bashing on others for content isn't great. And this, quite frankly, destroyed the internet. Dude, 1.1 million views. Because guess what? She was indirectly referencing Kenji. She was pretty much subtweeting him. And for many, this came out of nowhere. She hadn't given her opinion on the subject. She hadn't been involved in the doxing. She absolutely was an outsider. And all of a sudden, you have this tweet. Now listen, this is passive aggressive. I don't care what you say, okay? I know if you're a Sayu fan, you probably think, oh, maybe it's justified, whatever. Listen, it comes off as passive aggressive. That's what subtweeting is anyway. And whether you like it or not, for the average person, okay, for the average person from those 1.1 million views, the only thing they really got out from this text is, guys, doxing sucks. But Kenji kind of deserved it. Like, that's pretty much what this says. It's not what she necessarily means, but you have to understand that there is intent, while there's also the result. And the result here did not look good. You even have one of her fans saying, I'll be honest too, I understand why you feel the way you feel, and your feelings are valid, but I don't think anything good can come from saying it like this. Please don't take this the wrong way. Now, why would someone like Sayu, who doesn't really have the reputation of a drama seeker, in fact, she's a drama avoider, why the hell would she post something like this? Well, as always, you need context, but in this case, not just any kind of context. We need to go back to the absolute fundamentals of what a fandom is. Look, as time goes by, more and more people are starting to watch VTubers. And if I had to sum up these people into two types of fans, here's what it would look like. On one hand, you have the types of fans that see VTubers more like idols. So think of it like being a Swiftie with Taylor Swift or being a huge K-pop fan. It's very easy to find fans like this watching corporate VTubers, like the ones under Hololive or Nijisanji, for example. This is where I would place a lot of Sayu's fans based on her corporate background. Now, on the other hand, you have people who see VTubers as content creators, not as idols. Think of it like someone watching, I don't know, XQC or Kai Cenat. You'll have superfans, but they will not have extremely restrictive expectations of you, like, I donated $1,000 to you yesterday. Aren't we supposed to get married tomorrow? How dare you get a boyfriend? This is where I would place a lot of Kenji's fans. He might be a VTuber, but he does not fit the corporate or idol mold. Now look, it's very important to make this differentiation between these two communities because, at the end of the day, they went up against each other. Now you're probably familiar with how a community like Kenji's acts. They're very passionate and loud, but if Kenji were to ever feel restricted because of them, he would tell them to sit the hell down and then we would move on, right? You can't do that in idol culture. Your fans have the power. Dude, a VTuber recently said that she's graduating from her master's and people got triggered and messaged her saying that, oh, please don't use the term graduation, it brings me trauma, because that's the term VTuber corporations use to announce the departure of VTubers from their company. Like, dude, I'm telling you, like, this is borderline insanity. Now, of course, not all fans are like this. That's something I want to emphasize. But sometimes you will see situations like this where you ask yourself, are we on the same planet? Like, I'm sorry, is this happening right now? And so what I'm getting to is this. What happens when a non-idol community goes up against an idol community? What happens when two worlds who are not supposed to be in the same universe all of a sudden collide? Well, it's like an atom being cut in half. You know what that's called? Nuclear fission. It's Japan all over again. So no wonder it was trending like crazy. And so now that you know about how different their fan bases are, let's get to know more about the VTubers at the forefront, starting with Sayu. So Sayu started streaming in August 2021 and then stopped streaming as Sayu in October 2022. This is because at that time she joined Nijisanji's English branch in their 7th wave called Escalates with the name of Zion Lanza. But it was very short-lived because she only streamed from December 10th, 2022 to the 4th of February 2023 and then got terminated on March 10th. Now listen, you have to understand, back then Nijisanji was still seen as this titan of the industry with a good reputation. No one really had anything against them publicly, and if they did, they would get absolutely murdered, okay? You see, it turns out that what Sayu went through at Nijisanji was absolute hell. But, as I said, public opinion back then was heavily sided with Nijisanji still. And what they got away with multiple times, not just with Zion, but every other talent they terminated, was that they were able to turn public opinion against them and make them look bad, to then terminate them and just sweep it under the rug because people would believe it. That's what happened with Sayu. Now, usually when you get terminated, you can't talk about anything that happened. You just have to shut your mouth and move on with it. Because if you do talk, you're at the risk of being sued. You signed an NDA, but Sayu didn't care. She went through hell, and she made this document, linking it in a twitlonger called One Girl's Story. And of course, to avoid the NDA, said that I wish to tell the story of a girl named Zion, not saying that it was her. So in this document, she talks about Zion in third person, but she pretty much tells us that, guys, Nijisanji's management sucks. This is something we know now. She made a couple of weird jokes that she addressed here and explained her side of the story, and that was that. But unfortunately, for the most part, the majority of people supporting Nijisanji could not care less. They were already brainwashed. They were already convinced that she was the bad person, that she got terminated because of that. Let's move on. It wasn't until Selen's termination that people started waking up and looking back at all the mistakes Nijisanji had done and thinking, wait a minute. If this happened to Selen, didn't it happen to Zion too? Like this tweet right here with 26,000 likes saying apologize to her now Zion did nothing wrong. She was the first martyr and you all hated her because she spoke the truth. She told you Nijisanji was evil. She told you any color was black. Black company. You know, when they employ sweatshop type tactics. Okay, not referring to anything else, alright? Anyway, and you didn't believe her because you ate Tazumi right up. Tazumi being Sloppy Toppy Tazumi, Riku Tazumi, the CEO of Nijisanji. Yeah, him. Sayu was a huge supporter of Selen, who then became Doki Bird, right? And in her post where she said, I will not be silenced anymore, which was a massive game changer in VTuber history, she said, I'm sorry you had to go through all this. Here's to new beginnings. Welcome back. But here's the thing. During the time Sayu was terminated as well, she was being doxxed, all right? A lot of sensitive information leaked, not just about her, it also involved minors. So it was very rough, and of course, as it was happening, Nijisanji couldn't care less, they didn't do anything to help. She was being repeatedly harassed over some jokes she had made that we'll get to later, and no one seemed to care. So yes, while she was happy that Doki Bird was fighting back, you could tell that a part of her was like a bit envious over the fact that, well, I'm really happy for you that people are standing up for you, but why didn't anyone stand up for me when this was happening to me? But due to this, her fan base is now extremely and utterly loyal, you understand? Because the people who used to watch her as Zion and were swayed by Nijisanji's termination letter realized, wait a second, what happened to Selen happened to her, and felt really bad for believing the lies. For many, they're back and they're never gonna leave, dude. Like, she could be in any controversy, they have her back because they never want to make the same mistake again. They feel very bad about it. So while her fan base is smaller than Kenji's, one could argue that their loyalty, passion, and even sometimes fanaticism can definitely make up for its size. Now, moving away from this idol culture, Kenji is more in the mainstream culture, okay? He's a disruptor. He's not someone who falls in that corporate or idol culture category. He just wants to have fun, he wants to have a good time, and shoot this shit with his chat. And I mean, look at this. This is one of his models. I mean, yeah, right here. Just imagine a corporate VTuber coming up with a model like this. Their entire community is gonna flip on them. Oh my god, you're fat phobic, you're ableist. It's like completely different worlds. So now that we've established the context, the foundational aspect of this entire thing, right? What the hell is Sayu referencing here when she says, I hope they learn that bashing on others for content isn't great? Because of course, as we concluded already, she's talking about Kenji. Well, let's look at Kenji's reply, okay? After she tweeted that, here's what he said. No one deserves to be doxxed, but you're mad because I reacted to you saying you like little boys and your jokes when you got terminated almost a year ago. And you have me blocked, but are tweeting about me. Get off my d. Yeah, listen, I told you it's nasty, okay? Like, I warned you, this gets deep. Or you're probably wondering, whoa, 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 whoa. When did we get here, dude? When did we start talking about this and this? Well, let's look at what he was referencing. Man, what the hell is this title, dude? Nijisanji Ien Zion gets suspended for doing based jokes. Thank you, the Traveler of the Abyss. This is like straight up outing yourself. Anyway, check this out. This is her as Zion. For context, the creepy guy is a rapist and this girl was a victim. Boom.
Oh, man, no wonder she got,
Man, no wonder she got, R-worded. Yeah, so listen, I love dark humor. I love dark jokes, but there's a time and a place for them, and especially when you're working for a corporation, that's I think that is, even to me, that's kind of going a bit too far, right? And then you had this wonderful, wholesome clip that quite literally says, Zion is a Shotokan, I like little boys.
A lot of people are asking me to use Yalan, but guys, I can't use Yalan. I don't have anything on her. I'm not too into her, you know? She's just not my type. I love little boys. And so I use little boys.
Hey man, we're never escaping. Genshin players are never escaping the allegations with this one.
I like her though. I think she's cool. But, you know, I'd rather have a daddy than a mommy and a little boy than a mommy.
So for many people, this was her admitting she's a Shotokan. Now, what is a Shotokan? Let's go down the rabbit hole, guys. Of course, this word hails from the wonderful land of Japan, and it pretty much means the attraction to young or young-looking boy characters or media centered around this attraction. You're attracted to kids. Let's go, dude. Hell yeah. Genshin players have won yet again. I feel so happy to have played the game. Now listen, let's be real here. Unfortunately, being a Shotokan is very normal in both the anime and VTuber communities, okay? So what I'm about to say is considered controversial and a hot topic. But if you're a Shotokan, you're a weirdo. Get the hell away from me. I want nothing to do with you. Thank you. In any case, Sayu took this whole idea of I make fun of everything a bit too far. Some of you might not think it's too bad. Yes, if this was in 2012, it would be completely fine. But in this case, let's just agree on something, you edgelords, that at least, while under a corporation, jokes like this can't pass. And this was what Kenji was referencing. But Nijisanji could not care less. In fact, this was not a problem. The whole I like little boys comment never actually contributed to her suspension. It was just the R-word joke that forced her to take a break of around a week and a half at the end of the year 2022. That's it. But with that being said, why did she make this tweet? What is she hoping to achieve? What does she want? Well, an apology from Kenji. She wanted an apology for this clip right here of Kenji talking about her. There are two major things that happen in this clip, but as you can see here, he had Googled what is a Shotokan. We already saw the definition. He read the same one and starts talking. Watch.
Nijisanji needs to do a better job finding their talents. Nijisanji needs to do better background checks with their talents. This is weird. This is actually weird. Chat, no, this can't, you can't get any weirder, bro. At this point, you cannot get any weirder. This solidified the weird shit. This has been like an ongoing thing for her. That means it's like an actual fetish, yeah? She's a pedophile. Pedophile. Bitch, I want to see her goddamn, her shit. I want to see her fucking, her history. Imagine her fucking history on her computer right now. Oh my God, her search history is probably crazy. Holy shit, chat. This is insane. Talk to me.
You followed her on Twitter.
Yeah, hey, taking that follow back expeditiously. Talk to me. I'm just disappointed. I mean, I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised. Again, when you give, I mean, how many talents do they have each wave? And they've been putting out waves very, very, very frequently. You're putting out like 5 motherfuckers. There's no way you know who you're putting out. You know what I mean?
So this was the first half of the clip, right? And he pretty much called her a pedophile. I just overall was shocked at how Nijisanji could hire someone like that. Now listen, let's go back in terms of context. Let's go back in time. Nijisanji had successfully convinced other VTubers within Nijisanji to talk badly about her, right? As I said, they ran a campaign to make her look as bad as possible to terminate her. Now yes, Kenji has a responsibility as a content creator to watch what he says about other people, of course. But honestly, dude got caught up in it like everyone else. He took the bait from Nijisanji like the majority of people. And this is something I think many people can understand. The main problem though in all this is the second half of the clip, because watch what happens.
She has kids. She got kids? Brother. Oh, brother. Apparently, how do you motherfuckers know this? You motherfuckers are creepy. You're almost more creepy than her. You motherfuckers find out everything. You motherfuckers are weird. I'm rethinking my community. What the fuck? Those poor children. Yeah, no, that's actually creepy.
Monkey.
Yo, Hanny, thank you for the tier 1, bro. Jesus Christ.
Monkey.
We learned from you. No, the fuck you didn't. I barely know how to use Google, bitch.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, minors were involved in this, and as I also mentioned, Zion, or Sayu, was doxxed near the end of her term at Nijisanji. What's also interesting is that by that time, Kenji was already a victim of doxing. And while yes, he did call his chat creepy, he didn't really take any action to ban them or anything. Now here's the thing, this 2-minute clip that you just watched was part of a longer video that was uploaded on the Kenji Plus channel, one of Kenji's many channels on YouTube. And the title was literally, "This VTuber Likes Little Boys." But this video has been deleted. When did it get deleted? Well, it's simple. It was around the time that Selen was being terminated, where Kenji most likely realized, wait a second, Maybe now with all the new info coming out, this video no longer is valid. And people were giving him shit about it because, oh, he's trying to save face. He's trying to pretend like it didn't happen because he realized that now Niji-sanji isn't so liked anymore. But I would argue it's a good thing. I mean, would you like him to keep it on his channel instead? If anything, I find it admirable because many people wouldn't do it. Many people wouldn't delete a video because it would hurt their views, result in less revenue, but he did it anyway. But he did it stealthily. It would have taken him to just get on stream and say one sentence. Hey guys, the Zion video, I deleted it because I realized that maybe with all the Niji-sanji stuff happening right now, maybe I was in the wrong. That's it. None of this would have happened, but at the same time, he didn't think he'd have to. He didn't think that Sayu was going to call him out in public. And he also didn't read her document in which she said, referring to herself in third person, she is not at all attracted to them in any sexual way, you know, referencing little boys, and is appalled at the idea. And explains with further context about what the joke was about her, you know, saying, I like little boys. Talking about how several meta units were characters that had the appearance of young boys, but weren't actually. Like Venti, Kazuha, and Scaramouche, which are all, you know, adults. So now that you understand the context, this reply makes sense. After Sayu's passive-aggressive tweet, this is what Kenji had to say, and only violence followed after that. He even had 4chan weighing in on this. And of course, even racial slurs were being thrown around. And as far as I know, Kenji never really experienced that kind of stuff in the VTubing community thus far up until this point. I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen that. So as this was all going on, both Sayu and Kenji were liking and retweeting their own fans' points of views and explanations, further adding oil to the fire. This is a Sayu fan referencing a clip with Kenji where he's sitting there with a friend of his calling Sayu a diddler, saying, this proves Kenji doesn't feel remorse. Why does he justify her treatment and continue to slander Sayu after what happened to him? Sayu got doxxed by his chat in which he didn't remove yet talked about it. I don't condone him being doxxed, but this is karma biting back. Guys, Sayu retweeted this, okay? This is a tweet saying that Kenji's community doxed her when they didn't. They repeated a part of the dox, yes, but they didn't actually dox her initially. There's no proof regarding this. So of course, it's a pretty massive accusation. Now you had the two generals of the communities fighting it out on the battlefield who were bloodying each other in their names, also helping to spread some exaggeration and misinformation. Here's someone siding with Kenji saying, apology for what? You're a pedo and make rape jokes, and that's what the video was about. You say about him taking accountability, but then are you going to? He's done nothing but been on the end of racist comments from your said communities. Grow a pair and admit your own wrongdoings. To which she says, I admitted to being wrong though? I also lost my job for it. What has he done? Guys, I kid you not, okay? For the days that this lasted, they're both out there liking and retweeting everything. Like, this was just fuel and fuel and fuel. So much fuel was used to add to the fire that honestly, it was a raging inferno. Dante's Inferno, dude. The painting was happening on Twitter. And then things got even spicier because Kenji found out that Sayu actually used to be a part of a friend group that had Dove in it. Yes, the same person who doxed him. And so he was making the connection. He was like, interesting. Maybe you contributed in a way, you know, kind of hinting, alluding, interesting. This is her replying to that. So instead of talking things out, now he's trying to find any sort of dirt on me to invalidate and demonize me to the public so he won't have to admit he was wrong. You complained that you weren't in the right headspace to talk privately, but you're in the right headspace to obsessively dig through Twitter posts and attack people more? Yes, I was friends with a lot of people back then. Kenji was also one of the people who followed me on Twitter and Twitch. Funny how friends change over time. Guys, by the way, this was posted on the Kuro Sanji subreddit, which is a Reddit pretty much making fun of Niji-sanji. There's not a single person here that likes Kenji. I swear to God, dude. You scroll down on this, any of these posts about Sayu, holy shit, dude. Like, get his ass, Sayu. Go get him, Sayu. Sayu, you're finally learning. Keep it up. Cook this coward. People were even hoping that their favorite drama tubers would drop a video that will cook his ass. Well, guess what, buddy? No one talked about this because they realized just how screwed it is and don't want to get 50% dislike ratio on their video. Instead, you got an idiot like me talking about it. But as you can see, very loyal fan base, and they really want her to defend herself because they don't want to see her go through what she went through under Niji-sanji. Then all of a sudden, Sayu comes out with this long post saying, sorry to comment on this more, guys. I honestly don't like this kind of heated back and forth. I really hate that people can't just be ourselves in peace and not exploit others for content. Yes, the video he did that slandered me and his chat doxing me happened a year ago. Back then, I blocked Kenji and said nothing because I knew he and his community would continue to blow things up and spin the narrative to their liking, nor apologizing. Why? Because after he posted about me having him blocked recently, I unblocked him and invited him to have a proper conversation in good faith. I do believe that talking things out in private is the best way to go about things, but this hasn't happened yet. I simply wish to receive an apology from him. There are so many others out there who have been hurt by him and refuse to speak up because he is a bigger presence with substantially more influence, but I am not them. And I don't think it's right to say that just because one person has made mistakes, another person is justified in harassing them forever. You don't have to like me, I'm not likable in many ways, but please remember that behind every voice is a human being. The damage you can inflict goes beyond just words on a screen. And then, here's the screenshot she linked. She sent him a message saying, you know I've had you blocked since you did that video on me. So you want to be unblocked. Why? Are you actually willing to talk this out? I completely agree with her, saying that talking things out in private is the best way to go about things. That way you don't have your armies, your communities, shedding blood on the battlefield 24/7 while you watch. But she had him blocked. He couldn't even message her if he wanted to. And she was the one who started it, when she could have just unblocked him and sent him a message. So yes, I'll go right ahead and say it. This comes off as tone deaf. But what was done is done. She had messaged him and told pretty much everyone, hey guys, I'm taking the right step. I'm hoping Kenji can too. What did Kenji say? Well, he references something that she said, which was there are many others out there that refuse to speak up about his bullying, saying y'all have the same script or what, with 2 screenshots of both Dove and Thintrovert saying the same thing, that Kenji is a bully, that he's done this before many times. Now look, I did my best to research, okay, because yes, during this conflict, I saw multiple people saying, oh, Kenji has bullied people in the past. The only thing I could find is him making fun of the capo, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you know nothing about VTubers. Is that dude flailing his hair around, right, on his face, he reveals it, and then the whole audience goes, oh my god! Oh my... He made fun of that, right? Many people hating on Kenji were like, dude, this piece of shit made fun of the capo, and now he's making fun of Sayu. It's like, bro, chill, let's take a step back real quick. Listen, he did make a little short making fun of the concert, yes. But honestly, if I saw that clip, I would have laughed my ass too, okay? Listen, bro. It's such a concept that is restricted to VTubing to understand that if you were outside of this bubble, you can't help but laugh. Now, yes, everyone has the right to enjoy what they want, of course, but the thing is, there was this huge piece of misinformation that was spreading about this that even I believed when I first saw it, which was that people paid $300 for a ticket to see this. It spread like wildfire on TikTok, and it's pretty much common knowledge, when in fact, it isn't. It's fake news. It was for free as part of a convention. It was a fun little thing for the fans, and when you actually see it this way, you think, huh, okay, that's not too bad. But I couldn't find any direct proof of bullying from Kenji other than the fact that he's just a shit talker, okay? And maybe at that point, it's just an incompatibility issue. Yes, I mean, I've already made this clear, there is an incompatibility issue between these two groups. In any case, at this point, it just seemed like this was never gonna end. She sent a message and he clapped back. He didn't say that, okay, we're gonna resolve it. Things were getting crazy. And I was thinking to myself, dude, when is this gonna end? What's the next step here? And why is no one talking about it? So then I got my Jinrex plushie, which you could get for $30 by the way, link in the description in the pinned comment, and I went to sleep thinking, when is this drama ever gonna end? Then I woke up, first thing I do, open up my phone, check Twitter, and I kid you not, the first tweet I see as I'm opening my eyes is this. Hey guys, me and Sayu talked. She isn't a pedophile. We both apologized. Don't send hate. With this dumbass image. And I was like, wait, he's kidding, right? Like, this is a way to shit talk her. I was thinking, that's not a very mature thing to do, Kenji. That's kind of weird. So I opened it up to see the replies, and people were like, can't tell if this is a joke tweet. I had no idea either. What kind of dumb image is this, man? What the hell? I mean, look at this tweet. His own community doesn't believe him. Look at this stupid ass picture and tell me to take this seriously on the first read. Like, what is going on? But then I scroll down a bit more and I see this from Sayu. I talked to Kenji in a call and apologized for causing him and his community stress. I was hurt and angry / hostile at what happened in the past and used Kenji's situation improperly. He did not dox me and also doesn't think I'm a pedophile. Don't attack anyone and don't send hate. And this is when I actually knew, oh wait, this is real. It's over. It ended very abruptly, but I'm just glad it's over. But the problem is, for many, this came as a shock, because as things were heating up to the tippy top of the tension, they just do this all of a sudden and kill it all in 1 second. Do I believe this is genuine? Who cares? They did this because they felt that they had to. Whether they actually like each other and are okay with each other now, who cares? I will say this though, seeing how Kenji actually entertained that absolute dumbass Kage in DMs and how he was always willing to talk things out no matter how crazy they were, I do believe that they actually did reach a conclusion where they're at least neutral. Not necessarily friendly, but at least neutral. But this doesn't mean the communities are though. And this had consequences. Because right after the incident, even though they apologized and everything was behind them, Sayu comes out with a tweet saying, "I've decided to private my posts for a while. I don't know how long or if this will help me, but thought I'd try it. I really appreciate those of you who've been sharing my posts/content, so please, if you want to, share clips and YouTube links, etc. Instead, thank you guys." And dude, look at this dumbass. Please, just look at this dumbass. Listen, granted, 2 likes, 300 views, they're irrelevant. But these people exist, and I want to just highlight that, okay? This is not the majority of Kenji's community, but they still exist anyway. Kenji community, we won the war. Quote tweeting her apology. Still don't like her because how she made herself look innocent and still didn't care about the jokes. Next time, enjoy your vacation and not Kenji, period. It's like, listen, okay, you fought for your general, you fought on the battlefield, you bled for your general, the general has shook hands with the other general. Can you just sit the hell down already? Can you just take a step back, please? Come on now. Again, being on the Kurosanji Reddit, this is them talking about her privating her posts. They're also not okay with Kenji. Even though they've apologized, they're also still not okay with him. They're still hostile towards him. In fact, for whatever reason, they still managed to mention Tectone. Like, this guy is everywhere, bro. Like, everywhere you go on Reddit, they hate him. Holy shit, dude. It's so stupid. With people even not giving Kenji the benefit of the doubt, saying, "I'm going to assume that Kenji isn't going to address his fans and tell them to stop," before being corrected down below, in which he told his community not to hate on her.
Don't go hate on anyone. In fact, just go show love to Kenji.
Yeah, bro, literally don't chat. I've been seeing I go back and forth with people on Twitter. Bro, listen. Chill. I know emotions are high.
So yeah, he did bring it up and tried his best to calm down his community. Now, Sayu's account remained private for almost a month before she decided to unprivate it 4 days before this video comes out, telling her fans how much she appreciates them and her fans giving her a lot of support. Look, overall, a very messy conflict that will definitely stay as a memory within the VTubing community for a long time. If there's any lessons for you to take from this, first off, never air your dirty laundry in public. Always try your best to resolve this in DMs, especially when you have so many fans backing you up. And speaking of fans, when you have so many eyes on you, every word you say will have massive weight. So as an example, if we go back to Sayu's initial passive-aggressive tweet and rewrite it, like for example, "Hey guys, having been a victim of doxing myself, I just want to reiterate that it shouldn't occur in under any circumstances. Me and Kenji have had our differences in the past, and in fact, I would still like to resolve some issues I have with him. But even though we have our differences, I still wish him the best and hope that he and his family remain safe." Bro, imagine if that was the tweet. Oh my god! That's one hell of an alternate timeline, okay? And I think that truly expresses, maybe, her real intent, as opposed to what she actually wrote. So yeah, watch what you say out there. I'll see you next week in the next video, which is going to be more lighthearted, okay? There's going to be way more laughs. As a reminder, I do stream. I'm a VTuber, baby. I'm live on Twitch almost every day except Monday and Tuesday. Come say hi. It's a really fun time. I love you. Mwah.